Paul Adom Otchere finally were reacted to Kevin Ekobedu Taylor on that Sidechick and who and some expose the other Babon na Paul Sanya or can some Uncle, please tell us a story.
Uncle, please tell us a story.
Over 24th July 2012, Ghana Yantia Sempa, Ninina says certain president, Atta, President John Evans Fifi Atta Mills, Asum Jehen, Otchere Nanum Ewan Siado. After New Wono, and Sembe Brena Babontin so, Atta Mills Crampon Ansan or Otchere Nanum Wan Siado, not John Dramani Mahama. Within kind Afriex, then Speaker of Parliament, Joyce Bamford Addo. So, unprepared non sweat in. Koku Anyidoho was setting the record straight. Way the naked truth. Atamos new wo sensem. Yebeko deep, masrawa. So be share video we no better wagin amame e comment section ho. Afriex mobile money app and I recommend the amount. O UK, Canada, US, any part of the world that will be out. Send this be more Ghana, move rate. Interesting thing is say, we sign up with the promo code TRENDSGH. For first transaction, I will be $20 bonus. And it's much sign up with the promo code TRENDSGH. So, Andra, me the Paul Adom Otchere on the Kevin Taylor or beef be a buyer. In the video, no bakaya, one mame sewa, no mame Otchere say, or no ne baba and a Paul Adom Otchere. O date no Kevin Ekobedu Taylor. Or dropping videos. Paul Adom Otchere no so ba bonti betire mu say that lady in question no eya akwa a family friend. Enu ti no bibiboni bia eni. But ma me no so kire mu eya Paul Adom Otchere we tuta skwa e ma Kevin Taylor so kra kire mu say owo Paul Adom Otchere any the lady in question no kra no omo bonsam cartoon we ye physical one. So Paul Adom Otchere amanfo hwe ni mi say eya endra ni show no so no. Oba responding to Kevin Taylor dito. Paul Adom Otchere or starting us yo Catholic priest be crown Efre or no Paul Adom Otchere say Paul uni bibi me too for na Bible mu crown obi kwaji sika or can send me and some fata na for say Paul Adom Otchere no.
But let me start with a Catholic priest. Now today a Catholic priest called me, and I'm not going to mention his name because he's quite well known. And after the initial conversation, he told me a story of encouragement. He said, you know what? When Jesus Christ resurrected, the authorities in Judea hired some of the police people and other people and told them that they'll be giving money to say that the body of Jesus Christ was taken by the disciples. A story that sounds true, but it was very untrue. The circumstances of the story sounds true and plausible, but it was completely false. 2,000 years later, people are still believing that story. So he told me that that's how it works. People pay money to put somebody to say something that sounds true, but it's completely false. So that's a Catholic priest who spoke to me about that today. So I just wanted to share that with you.
So reaction when Paul Adom Otchere dey about bonting. And I'm out for chem say David Paul, obwa. One kasa and someone walk can have video where they question Catholic priest no. But and someone Kevin Taylor and my minute about bonting no. So which they will say, oh, I so be a kojiska no boy jandam. Koku Anyidoho. Ono no ye former aide, NFE, head of communications, Emma President Atta Mills. I was on also and our former deputy general secretary for NDC. As a CMN Okese eya kwa say bantemi air course between ono Koku Anyidoho NFE NDC from head to toe eja edem. As a so woko Atta Mills eya ne brothers na Kadma Mills NFE Samuel Atta Mills so Koku Anyidoho one omo ebi fi de denden. So Endra Koku Anyidoho okopie mu ewo Paul Adom Otchere ni show so. That flyer no eba bonti na man for status or more dey say Koku Anyidoho oko Paul Adom Otchere ni show so there. Eba na sign because somewhere 2020 Koku Anyidoho ojina OKFM Otchere mu say Paul Adom Otchere ni show no good evening Ghana no. Aye ya mutu.
Paul Adom Otchere o.
What is it?
Say journalist no was Ghana when you be kura wanka bi mu journalist Ghana journalist no eji wo mo figures free MPP headquarters.
Oh how generation way.
Me adwene kura ba ni trim sheer madness.
As for him, he's a spent force. He's one of the spent forces. He prevaricates. Yes,
I
don't want to even spend my time on him. Yeah, his program is dead, and he's looking for audience. He's a spend force. I don't want to discuss him this morning. I won't waste my time on that guy because he has sat on that. His program,
I don't watch him.
Think about him. Kwame Jano, I don't want to waste my time on him. He's a spend force. I said he has sat on that his TV program and ran me down several times. I only in us also. I won't waste my time on him this morning. He's a spend force. He's looking for audience and he's not getting the audience. Disregard him. He's a spend force.
Way 4 years ago, and someone Koku Anyidoho or can about Paul Adom any of the show Good Evening Ghana. So Koku Anyidoho watch your book opportunity uncompromising thoughts, leaving out national issues oko Amazon ebusha ubenye book ni bi ato. So enunti na oko Paul Adom ni show no so or discuss ensem ni bia ewo book ni mo ani afi enuma ni bia amanfo expect na Paul Adom wo chirem se Koku Anyidoho yehu say of late one John Dramani Mahama ewo mu ana wo boso parliament any gumbi nkokonse bi ba bonten say then vice president John Dramani Mahama o tukwan na motorcade bi edinani but wo Koku Anyidoho wo stop that motorcade no eno na Koku Anyidoho say oh Paul tobo me be chire nsem.
There was no way Koku Anyidoho could have disrespected the vice president of the Republic of Ghana. Paul.
But we heard stories.
As for the stories plenty.
What about the motorcade that was returned from Kintampo?
Who with me?
Well, they don't know who. John Mahama was on the motorcade going to the north. He got to Kintampo and Colonel Atta called him and said, who asked him to take the motorcade? He should come back to the castle.
Certainly not me.
But did you have any encounter with John Mahama?
Never.
So before our late former president John Evans Fifi Atamos Obatua Nananom Ewo Nsiedo allegation bi so ba bonten say then vice president John Dramani Mahama wafre then speaker of parliament Joyce Bamford-Addo say oh Atamos wewu meanwhile na Atamos wewu any allegation about bonten say Atamos wewu Emma John Dramani Mahama wafre then speaker of parliament Joyce Bamford-Addo say oh unprepare say obeswe or no John Dramani Mahama in nano na Koku Anyidoho ebuso chem say sir and you're setting the record straight.
What is this story about? Some Saturday Mills was unwell in 2012 early. Rumors were that he had died. John Mahama is reported to have called Speaker Joyce Bamford-Addo to tell Joyce Bamford-Addo that I hear the president has passed. Can you organize parliament? The story continues that Joyce then asked Kojo Chikata, that's how are we going to do this? They said the old man is dead. Kojo said, I have not heard it. How can the old man die? I don't know. He said, well, this is what the vice president called to tell. Story continues that Kojo Chikata came to the castle to see what's happening. When he came, all of you were around Professor Mills singing praises, and Professor Mills was there. And then you were told, you asked Kojo, what is that? Kojo said, well, Speaker said, Vice President said, Papa has died. And I hear the Monday you went to John Mahama's office, it was brutal. Is it true?
I must have entered the Vice President's office not more than 4 times. All on official assignment.
So this story is not true?
Palpably false.
Did Mills have any problem on a Saturday like that?
I don't remember. I don't recall.
So that day, 24th July 2012, Atta Mills, Otchere Nananom Ewo Nsiedo no, a man for be ba bontin be chire mu say, oh, eye nipa ba ko bi, e na omia Atta Mills na kon ewo castle ho. Ebi so chire mu oh, even Atta Mills, that time when nipa ni mia no kon wie ye no, na ambulance kra no ebi ni castle ho. Driver me car no almost stop here no omode Atamos body no etu mu so omode ne ko 37 military hospital that car no so na motorcade bia endie nim eninti Atamos o wu ni nyina mu no na odi traffic mu Atamos omode ne ko to 37 military hospital no so no ebusia children's ward no omode ne ko to ye now some way it's been almost 12 years ni and Koku Anyidoho say oh and also one some kan I had here or setting the record straight.
How did you hear that Mills had died?
So Tuesday morning I was in my office actually working on some speech that he was supposed to deliver at a public function because I used to write all his speeches. Name them. State of the Nation.
Was he traveling on Tuesday?
Well, I got to know. I didn't know before, but I got to know later, yes, that actually he was going to leave for Nigeria that Tuesday morning.
Okay.
So I was in my office when a security man came banging on my door. They've taken the old man away. They're taking the old man. I said, Charlie, I will look at the.
Wole from where?
So, apparently he was carried, stretchered.
From where?
From his room.
A castle.
At the castle. Into the
Room
ambulance.
or office?
No, not from the office. The residence.
The residence. Mm-hmm. And put in what kind of car?
Of course, that's that one in an ambulance.
With motorcade was there?
Motorcade, medic. So that's, if at the point they said I carried him in the boot of my vehicle.
Okay, so the motorcade drove him to 37.
Yeah, they drove him to 37.
In a normal presidential.
Oh yeah, that one.
So all those stories are not true.
They are not true.
Thank you.
They are not
Very
true.
happy
I mean,
to
no,
hear
they are not true. I mean, a sitting president, definitely there will be motorcade. The ADC joined.
So he didn't come to the office at all that day?
No, he didn't come to the office at all that day.
Was at a residence?
It was a residence.
Yeah.
And of course, the stories abound. His son says he had lunch with him. A sister is supposed to have gone there. All those other stories, that is their story.
You didn't see anything?
No, I didn't.
So you were in your office?
I was in my office.
Okay.
And so now we went to 37 and he was declared officially dead around
2 o'clock.
Yeah, 1:32 or thereabout.
What happened thereafter?
When I got to 37, because like I'm saying, the motorcade left, the security man came to inform me. So I now had to rush to 37. So I got there. And when I got there, of course, I saw Colonel Lawson.
He was with him?
Yeah.
When you got to 37, what happened?
So I got to 37, and once I arrived, I was ushered into the ICU, the intensive care unit. So the story that he went to a maternity ward is also not true. Children's ward is not true. He went to the ICU, and he had commissioned the ICU maybe 2-3 months before.
That. Okay.
And it was a double commissioning he did when he went to 37 at the time. The ICU and the refurbished mortuary.
Oh, wow.
And as fate will have it.
That's interesting.
As fate will have it.
From the ICU?
From the ICU.
He went to the mortuary.
He went to the mortuary. Where Papa, where Fa.
So,
when
you were leaving 37...
So when I went to 37, I was ushered into the ICU. And then there was the lifeless body of the president. They removed the cloth.
The white.
And so they up to maybe the navel.
So you saw his face?
I saw his face. I saw his upper body. And as I stood there watching the lifeless body of the president, I'm not too sure how I got out of the ICU because, you know...
You don't know how you got out of the ICU?
I don't know how I got out of the ICU.
They carried you?
I don't know.
Where did you end up?
So later on, I realized that we were in a room and they had brought a psychologist to come and work on us, a few of us. Oh, myself and Colonel Lawson was part of it. A few close aides. I don't remember any of the brothers being in that close meeting.
Was the Reverend Minister there?
Amudaku. It's possible.
Yeah.
And this psychologist came. Then the lead physician, who also came and said that, gentlemen, you know that the president is dead, don't you? Yeah, it's good to cry, it's good to break down, it's good to weep, but let's allow him to go and rest. And that he had defied medical science for 8 years.
Oh, 8 years.
That he had defied medical science for 8 years. Now, Paul, and I want to believe that the medical doctor was telling us the truth. A man who defied medical science for 8 years to take this party from opposition into power. Because I remember in those quiet moments when the MPP was laughing at him and calling him a failure because he had lost 2004 was contentious. But instead of moving us onto the streets in 2004, that's when he said he will never become president on the drop of anybody's blood. And that if Kufuor says he's won the election, let him have it. Or if it is God's will, Ghanaians will give me the presidency in 4 years' time. Very prophetic.
He said that in 2004.
In 2004. This was at Kuku Hill and on other platforms. But I remember Kuku Hill 1. He had to convince, because some of us wanted him to convince us as to why he will not hit the streets. And he said, no way. If I hit the streets, you people will die. Koku, I need you for the next election. I'm not going to kill you. Stay alive and let's win this election in 2008. That was what gingered us into that 2008 election.
So late former President Mills, the former 8 NAFI, head of communications at the presidency, NAFI former deputy general secretary for NDC, Koku Anyidoho, explanation when the about one thing allegations in your home, what best set the record straight. Paul Adom Subtly, Enya wanwa so bi betumi akɔgi sika sɛ obegu n'animu ase because Bible mu kura no esiye. But after this no me hu sɛ Kevin Taylor so no we be throw some fire meant be e social media. But me twen Gumbi eno supermental e be free Kevin Taylor na kache ebeba macro.
Sending money abroad just got a whole lot easier with Afriex. Our slick app makes international transfer crazy fast and super secure. Just tap a few buttons, money sent across the globe in minutes. One magic of Afriex is that you can add your debit card or load money to your Afriex wallet right in the app, then send those funds to your recipient overseas straight to their bank account at lightning speed and zero fees. You can earn a one-time bonus of $20 if you refer your friends and they send up to $150. Whether you're in the USA, Canada, Europe, or anywhere in the world, Afriex. Best rates at no cost with no hidden fees.